Hey man, how you been? Hello. Just give me a moment here. I'm setting something up.
Just pretend like I'm not here. Focus on what you're doing.
Mintha, Luke, look after our guests. Huh? Pay your respects. Tremble before me. Burn away with
Drowsy into the dream.
Tremble before me.
What happened?
Do you like it?
What happened?
Don't dream of escaping these flames. Solar blaze, incinerate my bones. Completely worthless. Victory was assured from the start, of course.
I don't think I can really play mobile stuff right now until I get my new drive. That's why it's like being like really choppy right now. There's nothing I can do about that, sadly. That's gonna have to wait until after I get back. It's also gonna require a friend to come over, so that's fine. I'm not really playing Pika Combat right now anyway. I can't stand using BlueStacks. It's just unreliable. Surprised they don't have a PC port for Aether Gazer yet. They should by now. It's been long enough. That's why I mostly play this, because it actually has PC port. It's no bullshit. Just rock solid 120 FPS, controller support, high resolution.
来ましたか。いつかあなたに会えなくなったら寂しくなるかも。なんでも任務がありますので出発しましょう。
チームワークですか？
光明の結晶よ、私たちに光を与え、生まれ変わらせてください。
絶対に許しません。さあ、終焉の光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。私はで誰でもいいから敵の隙をつけます。貫け状態の槍。
みんなを守る、やってみて。さっき私、足引っ張ってなかったですよね。みんなを光明の結晶よ、私たちに光を与え、生まれ変わらせてください。
平成6つ絶対に許す。さあ、終焉の光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。私についてくれる敵の隙を作ります。おう、できるとでも思っている。貫け状態の槍。平成また貫け。さあ、終焉の光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。終幕です。さあ、とわに眠りなさい。
はい。
大したことじゃありません。集中しましょう。もう逃げ場はありませんよ。あなたたちの時間は僕が制する。
私に任せてください。
気を抜くのはまだ早すぎます、指揮官。もう逃げ場はありませんよ。
私に任せてください。
僕の視界からは逃れられ、あなたの生存確率はゼロです。時の果てで滅びよ。
私が求める病終幕。
気を抜くのはまだ早すぎます、指揮官。
私の動きを。この全力で勝手より解かれし力、我が刃と化せ。次に向かうわよ。この勝利が
終幕ではないわ。私を風より解かれる力、我が刃と勝て。生死を突き歯応えないわ。次に向かうわよ。この勝利が終幕ではないわ。私を楽し風より解かれる力、我が刃と勝て。生死を突き
私もいけます。
次に向かうわよ。この勝利が終幕ではないわ。私を楽しませてほしいものね。風より解かれる力、我が刃と勝て。
私もいけます。
宿命の風は私が断ち切る。次に向かうわよ。この勝利が終幕ではないわ。この戦い、私を楽しませてほしい。その程度。風より解かれる力、我が刃と勝て。
私もいけます。
宿命の風は私が断ち切る。次に向かうわよ。この勝利が終幕ではないわ。
You know what's coming, man. The Puyo Puyo community is, on... Puyo Puyo community is having a rough time. They finally get a new game. They finally get a new game and it's stuck on Apple Arcade and probably will never get ported. It's always great. You take a short-term bag of cash and then piss off the people that actually want to buy it all in one fell swoop. Always great when that happens. Instead of putting it on something people actually want to buy. They have that Castlevania gacha that's on Apple Arcade that I really want to play, but it's probably never getting ported. I'm sure as hell not buying an iPhone to play a video game. That's way out of my price range, insanity range. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't put it past Capcom to do that. Like, hey, here's a new BASARA, but it's stuck on Apple Arcade. Like, thanks for nothing. I don't know. I'm such a fan of that. I probably would buy it. Oh, the gacha game's shut down. It's been shut down for years. That game's been shut down for a long time. No, that game shut down like right after the 15th anniversary. Like immediately after. Which is funny because they spent so much time shilling that crap and then it shut down like less than a year later. I'm like, man, you really wanted people to buy that game and play it and spend money, and then it shut down. That game had no chance. It came out at a time when gacha games got a lot better. They were more competitive. Oh, we're doing this again, huh? I forgot about this problem. Give me a sec.
Hardcore. Uprising.
I forgot I'm having this problem with emulation. I forgot how I fixed it. Give me a sec here. How did I fix this again?
Hardcore.
There we go. Fixed. Fixed. Oh, never mind. Not fixed. This game cannot go above 60 FPS, apparently. I have to fix that. I tried to increase the V blank frequency, but the game is hard coded at 60, so cannot go any higher. How the hell do your classes start in a few hours? It's midnight for me. Your classes start at 6 a.m. It's midnight for me.
Come with me. Mission start. It's not Warning. Warning. I'll finish it soon. You're poorly trained. One up. It's not my time. Needed platform.
machine gun. Warning. Warning. Warning.
That's an emulator game.
Out of my sight. It's not quite fine.
Light up.
I grow tired of killing.
This game will never get ported. Shackled to 7th gen consoles. Ironically, I was playing it at work tonight. It runs perfectly on Steam Deck. So there you go. There's your Switch port.
Take flight.
I hate that part about this first level. This first level is really cool thematically, but missing that jump is fucking stupid.
Warning.
That was a 1cc through the first level as well. I haven't played this in so long. I hate that about this level. Like, dude, the boss is dead. Just end the level.
Out of my sight. I grow tired of killing. I'm not finished. Take flight.
I still missed it.
It's not quite fine.
I gotta get used to that. You don't jump when it tells you to. You gotta jump right when your bike is above the helicopter.
Mission clear.
Very, weird thing to have in your first level of your video game. Just, really randomly difficult, like, action movie jump you just have to make. Otherwise you wipe and have to go back. Weird flex. This game is awesome, though. Definitely one of the most underrated 7th gen games. I played the shit out of this when it came out. Alright, so next level I should be able to farm, points. There's a spot with the gators where you can farm. Yeah, he definitely sounds like you're American if, you gotta wake up that early to get to class. Czar.
Start. Snipers.
America, you can't do shit unless you have a car. Or pay a lot of money for Uber. Those are your two choices. I know because I don't drive.
Continue. Let's rock. Mission. Start. Snipers.
It's not my time.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Not again. You're poorly trained. It's not my time. I'm not finished yet.
Let's rock.
It's not my time. It's not my time. First of all, you can't do this. It's not my time.
Stretch out. Warning. Warning. Warning.
You won't escape my blade.
I was playing on PC. That's like the part where you need to farm too. I remember that much. Let's get back there. So this character's kind of weak without upgrades because you got to be up close to do the Mega Man charge shot.
Warning. Warning.
Not again. It's not my time. You're poorly trained. Not finished yet. Best avoid the hungry ones.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
You won't escape my blade.
Continue. Let's rock.
Yeah, I never understood never understood the theming of this game. It's like, it's clearly Contra, but it's not mentioned anywhere. Even though they have the Contra theme and everything and the weapons. It's like Contra, but not. I have to wonder if maybe that's why they haven't ported this game. But I tested over at my kitty sitting job a couple hours ago. It works perfectly on Steam Deck. So there you go. If you want a port of this game, go get a Steam Deck. You shouldn't have to do that, but those are your options pretty much.
Not finished. You're poorly trained.
Yeah, the new Contra looks decent. I just feel like they priced themselves out of being relevant by making it $40 because you have so many Zoomers complaining that it's only 2 hours of entertainment for $40 because people don't know what arcade games are anymore. They don't understand what arcade games are. Not everything needs to be an 80-hour grind fest with fully motion captured cutscenes and AAA voice actors and 800 side quests. Like, sometimes something like this is actually fun. But in the Zoomers' defense, I feel $40 for the new Contra is extremely steep considering the competition. You know, you can get Cuphead, Blazing Chrome. Those games are like a fraction of the price. And not that far off in terms of quality. So I really think that they should have swallowed their pride and charged no more than $20 for that game. Because it's getting destroyed in reviews because people don't understand the value of a short game. Like, not everything has to be a long game, man. How many hours do I have in Streets of Rage 4? Probably about 150 across all versions. You can beat that game in under an hour. That's part of why I like it. It's not a time investment. I feel satisfied finishing it. I'm not wasting time doing forced walking sections and running slow through big expanses of nothing. But I feel like you reap what you sow when you put an arcade game. For all intents and purposes, it's an arcade game. It didn't come out in the arcades, but it's an honorary arcade game. It's about the same length. And it's built for replayability. And when you price that at $40, people are going to scoff at it. I mean, even for me, like, I know that I'll like the game. I know that I'll enjoy it. But the price point is steep for me right now. I'm definitely not getting it. I don't know. I might, maybe after my birthday, with like birthday money, I might grab it. But I don't know. I think the reviews are stupid because they don't understand what an old game is anymore. You know what an arcade game is? People used to play Final Fight for decades. It's like a 45-minute game. But I don't know, the average normie gamer is just obsessed with how long they can play something instead of whether it's actually fun. There definitely are some games that keep things fresh for that long, but they're very hard to find. You know, the new FF7 Rebirth seems like very content-rich. You can get 100 hours out of that game if you like it. But, like, not everything can and will be like that. Sometimes it's fun to just, like, play an arcade game. But I feel like they're setting themselves up for failure charging that much. That's a big asking price. Especially, like, a week away from Dragon's Dogma 2, which I feel like you'd kind of be stupid to not choose that, right? For like 40% more, you get, you know, a much longer lasting game for the average person that's not into 1cc's or speed runs or challenge runs or just like just playing something to play it without any kind of material reward. Like, obviously most people are gonna choose that. And I feel at that price point, you can't blame anybody for doing that. Like, that's totally understandable. If you like Dragon's Dogma gameplay loop, you can get a couple dozen hours out of that game easy. But the new Contra is $40, and I feel like they did as much as they could to, like, make it, worth buying. They have, like, unlockable characters and perks and stuff. There's actually a fair amount of content. It's just not content that the average gamer is gonna be interested in doing, because they're obsessed with gameplay length instead of whether the length is actually good length, instead of just long for the sake of being long. I won't be surprised if that game gets a really steep discount in the next couple months. By the end of the month, end of the year, it'll probably be like $20, and I think that would be a more fair price for most people. But when your 2-hour arcade game is almost the same price as Dragon's Dogma 2, I mean, you can't really blame anybody. It's easy to say, oh, these people are uncultured or they don't understand what a good video game is. Yeah, of course that's true in a lot of cases, but when your game is priced that high and it's going for a much smaller group of people, you know, most are going to choose the better option. Streets of Rage 4 was what, like $20, $30 at launch? I feel like with the DLC and the survival mode, like, even if you only play it a couple times and you're not a super major sweat lord over the combo system or doing challenging stuff in the game, like, that's a steal. That's a lot of content. Contra, on the other hand, is like double the price. You know, I often feel like people are cheapskates with, like, games like this, because they just focus on how long the game is instead of whether it's actually fun to play. They just want something to keep them busy. But at the same time, some of these games are really overpriced. But a lot of that is also just a problem with the game industry in general, how stuff is very devalued very fast. You know, you can get, like, Borderlands and Skyrim and, like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto 5 or something. You get all those games for, like, $30. So the value proposition, admittedly, is very low when you consider that Contra is $40. But that's just a problem with how we devalue video games so quick. And it's like the biggest, most expensive to make games that devalue the most. And there's no really easy way to fix that. That's the funny thing. There's no easy way to fix that. It's been a problem for a while. Yeah, you can get Borderlands 2 and all the DLC for like $20. If that's your kind of game, then yeah, that definitely is a hell of a better deal than Contra. As much as I don't care for Borderlands, I'd be delusional to say it wasn't a good deal. But I feel like you gotta play the market, right? If people can get a AAA masterpiece a year after launch for like the price of a decent meal, and your arcade game is $40, most people aren't going to choose it. They aren't going to choose your game. I think the worst thing about Contra is, like I said, it has like pretty good competitors that have been around, like, while Contra's been mostly dormant, that are like half the price. Half the base price. That's the problem. Base price. I'm not talking about 80% off sale. The base price of Cuphead and the DLC is like still a good $15 cheaper than the new Contra. Now, I'm gonna say the reviews are fucking stupid. They are. They're really dumb. People are saying you only play it once. It's 2 hours. It's overpriced, yes. It's very overpriced. $20 to $25 tops would be like, if I was in charge of those decisions, that would be the max price I would charge for that game. But they added like way more content than what you normally expect for an arcade game. Like they have like multiple new characters. There's stuff to unlock. There's challenge modes. Like there's a lot of meat there for sure. It's not just a 2-hour playthrough, but people view the length of a game by how long it takes them to roll the credits. We haven't ever really gotten past this problem with arcade-style games, which is weird because roguelikes are so popular, and even the ones that aren't action roguelikes are still arcade length. You know, like Balatro. Balatro is basically just a card game, right? But you finish the game in like the same time as it takes to beat an arcade game. But like that game is crazy popular. So that's kind of what I don't understand, is the double standards are weird. It's like roguelikes are insanely popular. Vampire Survivors is a 15-minute game, and people have hundreds of hours in it. But then like a Contra game comes out, or a new beat 'em up, and people are like, you know, it's only 2 hours of entertainment. Like what? Roguelikes are like some of the most popular genres right now for like people that don't spend a lot of money on video games, or they don't have the hardware to run the big stuff. But like when an arcade game like Contra comes out, suddenly it's a big deal. I don't get it, man. All roguelikes are basically arcade games. The ones that are like actual action roguelikes basically are just arcade games with more replay value. They have stuff to unlock and random loot and things like that, and builds to keep you playing. They are still arcade games. Very much are. But then like when an actual honorary arcade game comes out, suddenly it's this big problem. Like, why? Dude, Vampire Survivors looks like shit. The graphics in that game suck. This is coming from somebody who likes pixel art. The pixel art is bad. But it's got addictive gameplay and lots of different ways that you can play it. And it's not a big time investment. That's part of why it's popular. I don't know, man. I don't understand it. I get that, like, as we get older, like, there's gonna be less people that understand an arcade game and, like, the appeal of playing a short game multiple times instead of a long game for, like, a really long period of time and risking lots of things going wrong. Like, the gameplay might go to shit, or the story, or both. But then, like, this game is $40 for 2 hours of entertainment. Like, what? It's not. That game is not going to sell well, though. I can already see that. But that's what happens when you put out your game a week before Dragon's Dogma 2, which is like probably like $25 more after tax. Like, you'd be stupid to not choose that, right? If you're interested in both and you don't have the disposable income for both, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose Contra at that price? No. Now, if Contra was $20 and you wanted Dragon's Dogma 2, you're far more likely to get both. As far as I can tell, I watched somebody play it this morning. They did about as much as they could to take an old format, which is an arcade-style game with a short runtime, but like lots of ways and reasons to keep replaying it. They did a very good job. They have a lot of stuff to unlock. I feel like even if you just consider getting the achievements or the unlockables to be when you're done with the game, it's worth $40. But to price is a joke. I don't think they really looked at the competition. They looked at the competition to like take some of the stuff that they did with the mechanics, like having the air dash and stuff is really cool. Kind of like this game where everybody has an air dash, so you have like more mobility, and you're not a sitting duck when you jump. So it feels like more fair. They took those things, but then like the prices, pricing them out of competition. You can get Cuphead for like way cheaper. Cuphead has a comparable amount of content, but it's like half the price and the graphics are better. Reminds me of when Strider 2 came out. There was that X-Play review where they said that the game was too easy to beat. It's like, well, you didn't 1cc it for one. Also, it's an arcade game, and we didn't start really getting a lot of extra shit in arcade ports until the Dreamcast. There were some exceptions, like Tekken 3 had like a lot of extra stuff with like Tekken Force Mode, but in that era, early 2000s, I did not expect a lot of stuff with the arcade port. Dreamcast was what really changed that. Like yeah, this game's kind of overpriced compared to like other stuff you could get at the time, like a Sonic Adventure or like an Ocarina of Time or something. It's like an insane price, honestly. And they started adding like more extra stuff so that there's more things to do if you're not interested in the competitive aspects. I don't know, looking back, I thought that those arguments were stupid, but at the same time, Strider 2 is insanely short, right? Even credit feeding, it's like a 20-minute game. They weren't entirely wrong. They're very misinformed. Not a very smart opinion, but at the same time, the value of that game for the era that it came out was really bad. I'm gonna be real with you. Tekken 3 was probably cheaper at that point, being a couple years old. Yeah, I'm grinding experience. I've played this game before. I'm breaking the game pretty much. Oh, I ran out of points. Alright. Cool.
It's not over.
Yeah, this game has a, like a shmup combo system for some reason. If you take out a bunch of stuff without getting hit, your multiplier goes up. So, in this mode where you level up and get stronger, it's the best way to grow your character. I played this game a lot when it came out.
Continue.
And now I have 86 million. I went from like 1 million to 86. I don't remember what the best stuff to purchase is, though. Yeah, the speed charge is an obvious one. There we go. Almost maxed out in one run. GG's. That's how you break this game.
Let's rock.
Warning. Warning.
Such a strange fellow.
I'll kill you. Giving up so soon?
You gotta give it to this game for making a ranged character in a run and gun be like overpowered. That's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. To make the melee character like the most busted. It's not
Could be
easy.
worse.
They managed to do it. So he's just kind of really weak at the beginning because your Mega Man charge shot takes like a really long time to come out. It's your only long range option. I don't remember how to get these hidden ones. Hey, good night, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Mission start. It's done.
can do it! Get up there! Thank you.
That signal is unstable. Ranger need to come back.
Hey, he didn't jump on you, doofus!
Mission clear.
This game does like the Contra 3 escape in like every level for some reason. It's like, oh, you beat the boss? No, not good enough. Not good enough.
Stupendous.
You gotta land the 3-point landing. Really weird design. Like, dude, the boss is dead. That's it. There's no more after that. I don't remember how to unlock these hidden ones. I remember you get like a triple jump and a double air dash. Alright, well that's enough of that for tonight.
Mission start.
I'm going in.
Yeah, that game is awesome. It's a shame that they won't port it. It's funny because on the Operation Galuga forums, everybody's just asking for Hardcore Uprising instead. I'm like, yeah, I can't blame you, really. I can't blame you. I have no idea what the licensing agreement with that is, though, because that was like one of the first games that Konami did that was made by somebody else. So there's probably some licensing stuff, but at the same time, you can still buy it on Xbox. The 360 version works on the Series X, so I don't know if I buy that either. But yeah, they put that up for like probably like $20 with all the DLC. I think people would buy it for sure. You know how these companies work. They don't. They're allergic to money. They have something cheap that people want, and they don't port it. I'm just kind of. Yeah, I don't understand the whole like thing where the Contra is never mentioned. I've never understood that because it's clearly a Contra game. It has references to every game that was out at the time, and then I think the main guy is like the villain in the actual hardcore or something like that. So I don't really understand how that works. But I don't know. That game's never getting off the 7th gen platforms, though. I think that much is pretty much confirmed. Alright, I'm gonna play like maybe one more game tonight. Hey, what's up, Gaijin? How's Rebirth treating you? I was looking at some gameplay of that. The game actually looks a lot better than the first one. I couldn't stand the first one. That game did not hold my attention. I really wanted to like it, but I really didn't care for it at all. It doesn't help that that game's like not really a big part of my childhood at all. I did play it, but I didn't like it. I didn't even know any of the plot twists. I remember playing the game for like a couple hours, but I really didn't enjoy it. I never really went back to it. I hated the graphics. I think it's because I played like Chrono Trigger like right before FF7 came out, and Chrono Trigger has aged way better. FF7's one of those games that like really did need a remake. It like has the endearing characters and the story and stuff, but I honestly thought that that game looked really dated even when it came out. The only thing that really looked good in that game back in '97, I think, was the pre-rendered graphics and the CG cutscenes were like pretty much unheard of. To have that kind of quality in a late '90s game on PS1 was pretty unprecedented. I'll definitely give it that, but I thought the in-game graphics were very weak. I just preferred pixel art at the time. I still do for the most part. Yeah, the first 6 Final Fantasies graphically aged way better than 7 did. Yeah, I didn't like the I didn't even like the graphics when it came out. It felt like a side grade because it's like it was cool having it in 3D, but the graphics, the tech just wasn't there. It was a very ugly looking game. But yeah, I did play 7 in middle school for like a couple hours, but I had to have people tell me the plot twist when the new one came out. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that. I'm like, yeah, that goes to show how much I played that game when it came out. I definitely didn't. I didn't care for it too much. It definitely needed a remake. I don't know if the whole multiverse thing was needed, but I feel like you kind of got to pick your poison with that game. They clearly want to do different stuff with it. They don't want to just make it a straight remake. But I don't know. I'm not really in a position to talk. I didn't really play the game more than a few hours when it launched, so
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
I don't really have an informed opinion. I heard that they're adding all the weird like time ghosts and stuff because they don't want to make the original one irrelevant. And I find that really weird because people have kept it relevant, right? People have kept it relevant. There's like full voice acting for that game now. There's like higher textures. There's 60 FPS support. People have kept it relevant. I feel like they should have just done like a straight remake and not have all the extra stuff. I was reading some of the spoiler posts for that just because I was curious, and I'm like probably not gonna play the game. Yeah, people don't seem to like the new stuff. Like, yeah, it seems pretty out there. It's one of those things you're not getting what you signed up for. You wanted a straight remake, and they're adding the time ghosts.
What a pain. Ready to go?
My perfect body! You can't back down now!
Too easy.
You win!
You remember how much of a mess this game was at launch? Do people even remember? I remember. I remember the day that this game came out. Somebody hacked in the on-disc DLC. They were completely playable. And they wanted you to pay like an extra $20. They're already done. The character development for this game was done day one. I'm like, oh, they're not finished. I'm like, dude, I remember that guy's stream. I vividly remember that, laughing at it. What the hell is this, man? Sure looked playable to me. He just cut like a dozen characters out of the game to make a quick buck. And the pay-to-win gems as well. It gave you a straight advantage over people who didn't pay. The gems were like really busted too. I actually never bought this game. I played it on Vita. I had the Vita version. I never had a home console version of this. Yeah, I'm kind of like mildly familiar with this game, but I definitely didn't play it at launch.
Do you have what it takes? You win! Perfect!
No, this game was never going to have a long lifespan, even if they hadn't fucked it up. Just because of when they released it. This was like the last... one of the last major fighting games on PS3.
Will the tide of battle turn?
Well, actually, there's a number of cursed things that happen to this game. There's all the stuff at the beginning, and then the patch coming out, like, the patch that basically fixed the game came out like a year later, and everybody had already moved on. And then also, you know, PS4 didn't have crossplay, or cross-gen, so if you upgraded, you couldn't play this game anymore. And then to make things even worse, the PC version is on Games for Windows Live, so they can't even sell this game anymore. This game just had everything going against it. Even if they hadn't tried to be so greedy at the beginning, this game just never had a chance. Tekken vs. Street Fighter did happen. It's just they just put Akuma in Tekken 7. That was Tekken vs. Street Fighter. I was really excited for that game too. It never happened, but it kind of did. They made Akuma canon in Tekken story, Tekken lore, and then he was like a really busted character. There's your Tekken vs. Street Fighter. Probably not what everybody wanted, but gotta go through the stage of acceptance. Like, yeah, that's all you're getting. They did him justice, though. I'll give him that. They did him justice.
I don't understand! Don't blink! I don't understand!
Yeah, this game had legit pay to win DLC in a fighting game of all things. Like, imagine if you could just buy like a shotgun in Fortnite that made you do 20% more damage than, you know, a kid that doesn't use the cash shop. That's pretty much what this game was. They managed to take the most, like, fair, competitive video game genre and make it pay to win. You gotta hand it to them. They ruined something that was sacred. It's like if the skins in Call of Duty Warzone just made you do, like, 30% damage just because you spent money. That's pretty much what this game was. You could get more meter, you could auto-block, you could do like, I think it was like 10 or 20% more damage than somebody who didn't pay. And they were saying it was supposed to be like this revolutionary thing that would increase our playstyles, and like, none of them really even do anything interesting. Pretty much just stats. It's cool how you have to play differently to, like, activate them. I think the proc effects on them are actually pretty cool. It would be cool to see another fighting game do that, but I feel like nobody will try after this game tried and failed. I'm like, builds in a fighting game actually doesn't sound that bad. It's just... It's a modern video game, so that means that they're gonna fuck up the balance by doing that instead of having it be like a clean playing slate kind of thing. Competitively, they never use the pay-to-win gems, but... I'm like, why don't you give me, like, enhanced properties or like extra cancels or something. Like make it like actual like playstyle change, like advertised, instead of just you do 10% more damage because you spent money. Like, that's not giving me another playstyle, it's just giving me an advantage because I swiped my card.
Can't back down now!
Yeah, they haven't done anything that shady since this game. This game was... I just don't understand what their reasoning was. This was a late-era 7th-gen game, so... Like, unless they were gonna port it to the next gen, which they didn't, what was the point in putting all that stuff in there?
After intense
If you're gonna do evil shit like that, like have on-disc DLC and pay-to-win items in a fucking fighting game, wouldn't it have been better to do that with Street Fighter 4? Because that game was relevant for 6 years. Like, if you're gonna commit that sin of taking a fighting game, which is like one of the most fair and honest competitive video game genres, then why don't you do it with the game that was relevant for longer, instead of something that's at best gonna have like a 1.5 year lifespan because the new consoles are right there. I don't understand it. It is a fun game to play. It's actually pretty good now, but the patch was too little too late. The launch version of the game also suffered from stuff not doing enough damage, so timeouts were very frequent, which didn't help the game's consensus. They had all those big streams for it and stuff, and then like you have like pro players, people that have like top tier fighting game fundamentals. They're fighting each other and they're still getting timeouts. Like how bad is that for like the average person that's just playing online or with their friends? Something's seriously wrong there. If you have like legendary fighting game players timing out against each other. Their solution was to like increase the damage like massively so that matches actually end. Even with the gems on, matches were often ending in timeouts. I wouldn't call it SSF4 at its core. The game is weird because like the Capcom recycling is only halfway there. Because obviously the Tekken characters could not be ported from Tekken 6. There's just no way to do that. So they actually made like 25 new characters for a fighting game, which is actually quite impressive. And from what I've heard from people that play Tekken, some of the transitions that they did, like they actually did a pretty good job. But yeah, the Capcom side is not interesting just because it really is just about half of Street Fighter 4's roster just ported wholesale. But there are like actual interesting things about it, like how it plays like Tekken Tag with like the juggling, and then also one character gets knocked out, then the whole match ends. Those are things taken from Tekken. But yeah, that game was never going to be successful. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. It feels like doing the pay to win stuff was like they probably knew that that game wasn't going to have a long lifespan, and I think that they really tried it there because they knew that they could get away with it, but it backfired so bad that they haven't tried anything since. I'm like, dude, builds in fighting games sounds awesome. It's just you can't just have it be stat increases. That's the problem. There's like only a couple of the gems that don't just give you more stats. Like if you gave me like a dash cancel or like a guard cancel or like an extra property or something, like that would be really cool actually. As long as you could earn it just by playing and there wasn't any like money involved. That's actually a really cool idea. But their whole marketing for that game was that it was supposed to be uh, what's it called? Like making your own playstyle. I'm like, dude, the playstyle is you do 20% more damage and you get more meter than the other person because you spent money and they didn't. That's not a playstyle. It's just a straight advantage. It's like, yeah, you buy a shotgun in Fortnite and you do 30% more damage. That kind of thing. You can't do that. Oh well. That game is fun to play though. I'll definitely, when it goes back on Steam, I might actually start playing it. I'm actually kind of really enjoying it. But yeah, that game is a fucking disaster at launch. Really goes to show like how much a company will try to budge on putting shady shit like that in their game. And then they get shocked when it backfires. It's always the funny part. Like, dude, we could have told you putting pay to win stats in a fighting game was never a good idea. And then also making it so that you can just change a couple things in the code and just unlock characters that are already finished. But then you want us to pay an extra $20 for them. I think what made it worse was like for the Tekken characters I could kind of understand it because they're completely new. There's nothing recycled about them at all. But like charging for the Capcom characters was fucking shady. It should have just been like Tekken character DLC because like they had to make those from scratch. The only reference they had was just their movesets from Tekken. They had to do that completely from scratch with nothing to recycle. But like, dude, I'm not paying for Sakura. Like, you already have her in Street Fighter 4. That's the same damn character. You made like 2 new animations for them, and then the mechanics are just changed a little bit from the core engine, but like that's it. I'm not paying for that. It's the same damn thing. How are they time release characters? You have to pay for them. That doesn't make any sense at all. Time release was a thing that was done to like encourage spending at the arcade. Marvel 2 is probably the best example because when that game launched, Uh, the more credits you put in, the more the cabinet leveled up, and then eventually you got all the characters. So, and I'm old enough to be there for that game's launch. That actually was really good for player retention. Because if you only went to the arcade like once or twice a week, there were more characters every time. That's what time release is. Time release is not the characters are already done and you have to pay extra for them. And then wait. You have to wait and pay extra. Like, that's not time release. That's just taking stuff that they already made and charging you extra. Well, they actually did try that again with Marvel Infinite, actually, because Marvel Infinite was kind of the same thing, but not quite. In that they fucking lied to people and they said that there was going to be like more. Um, said that there was going to be like more seasons, but then they only did one. But in Marvel Infinite's DLC's defense, they were all completely new characters. They didn't. They didn't backport. They didn't port anybody over. But yeah, the Capcom roster of Marvel Infinite is kind of a lot like Cross Tekken. I think they only did like 2 or 3 new characters. Everybody else was just ported from the previous game. Both those games have the same problem. The Capcom part is very uninteresting. Like, yeah, we're just gonna take this character model from Marvel 3, which is like a 7-year-old game at that point, and like not have any of the lighting or anything that actually makes them look good. There weren't really like, a whole lot of really interesting ads. Most interesting ads in Marvel Infinite was pretty much Sigma. Monster Hunter was really cool. Black Widow, Black Panther. Um, having Yetta was pretty awesome too. Alright, well, it's like 1:30 in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and crash. I'll see you guys later, everybody.